In this video, I'm going to be providing an update on the likelihood of a second stimulus package, as well as an update on the $600 a week federal unemployment benefits set to expire at the end of this month. Alright guys, so there's a lot of uncertainty and anxiety around the topic of a second stimulus package, so my goal in this video is to give you guys the most up-to-date information. But before we jump into details, I just want to say thank you to all my Joe-Adults for your continued support. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We focus on finance, real estate, and other life-related topics. Consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell as I'm posting valuable new content twice a week. Okay guys, so ever since the passage of the last stimulus package known as the CARES Act back in March, there's been a growing level of speculation about the possibility of a second stimulus bill. Now, Democrats in the House of Representatives have already passed a second stimulus proposal called the HEROES Act, which would provide another round of $1,200 stimulus checks to individuals, as well as extend the federal $600 unemployment benefits until early next year. Now, unfortunately, at this time, that piece of legislation is stuck in the United States Senate and has faced opposition from Senate Republicans. Now, while some Republicans have been downplaying the possibility of another stimulus package, the likelihood of another stimulus package is becoming more realistic by the day. And I would have to say that based on what's going on in our economy right now, it may not be an exaggeration to say that Congress has no choice but to pass a second stimulus bill. The good news is that public support and anticipation for a second stimulus package has been growing. Now, one of the main reasons I feel Congress will need to act is because of the recent surge in virus cases. Think about it, Joe-Adults. The entire reason for the first round of stimulus payments was the rapid onset of the virus. So the number of new infections hit an early peak of around 40,000 back in April. If these virus cases continue to rise as we've seen across our country, it's going to force many states and businesses to shut down again or roll back any planned reopening. Now, if this ends up happening, it means that millions of Americans will once again be unemployed or underemployed. Now, by late June, the number of new cases exceeded 50,000 on several days and soared past 61,000 on July 8th. I mean, guys, this recent surge in new virus cases is putting a tremendous amount of strain and pressure on our entire economy, especially the healthcare sector. I honestly don't think that the government can just sit around and do nothing while things are just spiraling out of control. States pausing or reversing the reopening process include California, Texas, Florida, New York, and more than a dozen other states are following the same course of action. What's very important to notice is that it's not just the official position of individual cities and states in opposing restrictions either. As the number of virus infections increase, people are understandably reluctant to go back to anything that was quote-unquote normal activity. So guys, it's really a build-up effect, a combination of official restrictions and hesitation at the individual level, which is keeping downward pressure on the economy. Distress continues in major economic sectors, including personal events, entertainment, travel, tourism, and restaurant and bars. Now, another reason the government will need to act is the continued high rate of unemployment. Now, the good news, Joe-Adults, is that the number of new unemployment applications has been declining, so that's a positive thing. It's been declining steadily since April. However, the overall employment situation remains at a crisis level. Now, the unemployment rate has fallen from the peak of 14.7% in April. It remains high at 12.4%. This is a big deal, guys. We were just under 5% unemployment at the beginning of this year. These numbers I just provided to you translates into 1 out of every 8 workers being out of a job. In fact, Joe-Adults, more than 18 million workers continue to be unemployed. It's unacceptable, and I know that we can do better as a country. I know that I have seen some of the comments on my past videos stating that people just need to get up off their asses and find a job. I really feel like this point of view lacks compassion and does not take into account the severity of our situation. I truly believe, guys, that most people want to work and take pride in being able to support their families and contribute to the U.S. economy. I mean, how do you expect people to go back to work if a lot of the industries that they worked in are now just shut down? It's also an unfortunate reality that many businesses are not going to recover and that there will be some permanent job loss. Alright guys, so now I want to talk about the $600 federal unemployment benefits and our overall unemployment situation. So the combination of federal and state unemployment benefits has not only kept many of the unemployed afloat financially, it's even provided an income that exceeds regular pay for some. Now, research from the University of Chicago shows as many as 68% of unemployment insurance eligible workers may have received benefits that are higher than their regular earnings. It further found that 20% of unemployed workers earning at least twice as much as their normal earnings. So, Joe Ross, what these numbers tell us is that the federal unemployment benefits has enabled many millions of unemployed workers to pay their bills and just survive this crisis. But it also prevented the economy from falling much further than it could have. Now, many Senate Republicans do not want to extend the federal unemployment benefits because they feel it does not provide an incentive for people to return back to work, especially if returning back to work means they will earn less money. This is why, as recently as a few weeks ago, Republicans proposing bills that incentivize returning to work. White House Economic Advisor Larry Kudlow mentioned last month that the president was looking at bonuses for returning to work. Senator Rob Portman of Ohio proposed a return to work bonus that would give $450 to laid off workers who went back to work. Representative Kevin Brady of Texas proposed two $600 weekly back to work bonus payments. Now, a lot has changed since those back to work bonuses were proposed, which is why I feel that the government is going to have no choice but to extend the federal unemployment benefits, even if that means reducing the amount. But I think it is highly unlikely that they will just completely cut them off. Let me explain. So this past Thursday, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin offered up what I consider the strongest endorsement of a smaller benefit and a possible compromise for the two opposing views on unemployment benefits. So in an interview on CNBC, Secretary Mnuchin said that the White House does not want to extend the current $600 per week benefits, but they want to replace it with another similar benefit that would be capped at 100% of the worker's usual pay. He stated that this would help ease the concerns of those in Congress that believe a $600 a week benefit is a big disincentive to looking for work. He went on to say, and I quote, "While there will be some who believe that offering up the same income for no work is still an incentive to stay home, it certainly isn't as egregious as paying some 200% their old salary to stay home." Now, he does offer up some very valid points. At least with this proposal, you're not putting those who've lost their jobs due to no fault of their own in a worse off position. So the way I see this proposal, it's much better than just completely cutting off the federal unemployment benefits completely. The Economic Policy Institute estimated that 17.6 million Americans probably won't return to work due to the pandemic. So guys, we have to wait and see what happens, but it does appear that the next stimulus package bill will have some sort of unemployment benefits in it. Now, given the current direction of the virus crisis in our country, as well as the overall state of our economy, it does appear that a second stimulus bill will be passed. The only question remaining is when, how much, and to whom. Now, the bad news, guys, is that an extension of the federal unemployment program is highly unlikely before July 31st because of the recess until later this month. Also, as I discussed, it appears most likely it will be extended, but that the overall benefit will be reduced. I'm thinking the benefit's going to be reduced between $350 to $500 a week if I had to make an educated guess. All right, Joe et al. So there is your update on the possibility of a second stimulus package, as well as the status of the $600 weekly federal unemployment benefits. If you found value in this video, please be sure to hit that like button. It goes a long way in helping to support and grow the channel. Also, please share this video on your social media pages, and do not forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell as I'm posting valuable new content twice a week. Thanks for watching, and until next time.